Hello and welcome back, and hopefully this lobby is going to hold. We're here with the Join Dota League Season number 5, Division 1/2 Playoffs, as Power Rangers and aSpera are looking for a slot in the MLG Pro League for Season number 6. Let's see who's going to be victorious. I'm GrandisV, and I'll be joined by Mikelorus through the duration of this series.
Right, so it's a best of 3. Winner is guaranteed a spot to get into that Division 1 for the next season, and loser drops down to lower bracket. They still have a chance, but of course, you never really want to be down in that lower bracket. Both these two teams did get here by 2-0ing their previous opponents, aSpera versus Alternate, and for Power Rangers, they 2-0'd Game Online. So, it's a pretty convincing wins across the board for these two teams, but I really don't expect those 2-0s to continue as you progress further and further into this mini tournament.
Yeah, this should be a pretty good series, although Power Rangers should be favored. aSpera and Power Rangers haven't actually played, as far as I can see on the record, in the last couple of months. The last series that they played against was a 2-0 win for Power Rangers in December, if I remember correctly. So we'll just have to see how they're going to perform. It's going to be a Batrider first pick for Power Rangers after banning out the Vengeful Spirit IO.
Right, so pretty safe stuff here for Power Rangers. Just going to get some initiation online while protecting it pretty decently as well. On the aSpera side, Axe and the Troll Warlord both going to get the boot out. So, getting rid of the powerful heroes, of course, it's going to be the objective of the first banning phase. Shadow Fiend and Juggernaut probably going to be in pretty heavy consideration for the aSpera side right now.
Yeah, I think that's fair. There's some other supports that they might look for to somewhat counter the Batrider. Disruptor and Earthshaker are the ones that come to mind, especially the ES. Just a really good all-around support if they want to go for something along the lines of like a Shadow Fiend Earth Spirit, or not Earth Spirit, Earthshaker, or Sniper Earthshaker. That looks pretty solid. They'll open things up with the Sniper.
Man, I can only hope for a random Earth Spirit. That would be insane. Suddenly Earth Spirit in Captain's mode. Sniper Dazzle, though, the opening for aSpera, and I mean, Sniper is just another one of those heroes, I think, akin to the Troll and the Axe. If he's not banned out in the first phase, odds are he's going to be picked in the first phase. Dazzle as the support for the Sniper. I actually don't really like Dazzle as with the intention of protecting the Sniper. He obviously does his job pretty well, but I think putting up barriers is probably in general more effective. Clockwork, Earthshaker, two of my personal favorites.
Yeah, I definitely like to see those considered later on in the draft by aSpera or banned out by Power Rangers. Let's see what they're going to follow up this Batrider. It's going to be the Earthshaker, so that's not going to be an option for aSpera. Earthshaker fits in pretty much every lineup. There's hardly a spot where you'd say Earthshaker is a bad pick. He's pretty nice defensively, but still can set up kills. You can't ask for much more.
Yeah, just a nice solid stun, and Power Rangers already looking pretty good in the crowd control department, whereas for aSpera, they're going to have to place crowd control at a premium. You need crowd control to deal with Batrider, maybe not more so than a Storm Spirit or something like that. But Power Rangers can always grab someone like a Storm Spirit, and then what are you going to do with your Sniper and Dazzle? In fact, aSpera might just want to ban out those types of heroes. Sniper just typically is so vulnerable to those high mobility heroes, and with a Dazzle, you can't really stop those high mobility heroes from being highly mobile. So it's going to be a pretty appealing ban or pick, I suppose, for aSpera.
An interesting ban coming out from Power Rangers is they take out the Slardar. Although we don't see Slardar very much, he could have fit pretty nicely with aSpera's lineup, offering some more minus armor to synergize with the Dazzle and Sniper both, as well as a tanky frontline initiator. It wouldn't have been bad, although not a hero that I've seen picked very often.
Yeah, aSpera did run that in the last series, I think, in the their previous match in the Division 1/2 playoffs. So yeah, obviously there's some metagaming going on there. If they're comfortable with it, if they've run it before, you don't want to let them get their hands on it. I believe they also ran a Tusk, if I remember correctly. That's probably not what they wanted to be doing in this game, although Tusk versus Batrider is pretty sweet. aSpera, they're definitely not afraid about going into the, let's say, rarer heroes in Dota and then making them work. I mean, they 2-0'd their opponents, so hopefully we'll get to see something a little bit strange, but Slaughter being banned out doesn't bode well for the strangeness of this game.
Lena is going to be banned from aSpera, a pretty standard one too, just making sure Sniper is going to have a decent time inside the middle lane.
Yeah, again, nothing too strange there. Right now for Power Rangers, they have their off lane, they have a support hero. They should be looking for some high mobility heroes that could punish the Sniper, and usually that's how these games usually, what these games usually come down to. Can the team with the Sniper protect the Sniper enough? And can the team without the Sniper get to the Sniper and actually kill him off? And that usually determines who wins, and then it all comes down to positioning. Batrider is a good start for that. Earthshaker also a support here that can do that very well. Him and Sand King probably do it the best, but it's going to be a very heavy positioning game. That's always a given whenever you have a sniper.
Queen of Pain will be the ban out from Power Rangers. Left in the pool is the Clockwork, however, and that would be a hero that I'd really like to see picked up by aSpera next. Let's see what they're going to be most afraid of. At the moment, Power Rangers are pretty damage light, so something along the lines of a Shadow Fiend banned out wouldn't surprise me at all.
Yeah, it's a decent matchup for the sniper. It's a lane where a sniper will only die if he really screws up or if someone from Power Rangers rotates in. But the sniper's ability to kill the Shadow Fiend is actually pretty high. Like, you have the Shrapnel and Shadow Fiend, very fragile to start things off. Not exactly the fastest hero in the game, has no inherent escape. And Sniper with one other support hero can very easily get those kills. It's instead going to be that Storm Spirit and, just making sure the sniper's life is as easy as possible. Even Power Rangers helping out in that regard a little bit. Queen of Pain would have been, a decent pickup for both sides, but it's another hero that Sniper would rather not like to deal with. And okay, well, as promised, it's a Tusk.
This can get very scary in the early portion of the game. Combined with the Dazzle, if you snowball in like 3 of your allies into the heal bomb, it gets to the realm of ridiculous when it comes to damage output that you can get, especially at early first blood attempts. But as you were alluding to earlier, it's also really nicely defensively against the Batrider, especially once you get a blink from the Tusk. It works almost as well as a Vengeful Spirit. If they try to lasso the sniper, you can just throw him into the snowball and end up stunning the Batrider in turn and potentially getting a turnaround. It's a pretty nice defensive support, although it's not one we see very often. It also somewhat offers that barrier with the ice shards coming out from him.
Yeah, sometimes that might be a little bit relevant. Sometimes it's going to screw you over, but that's just the risk that you have to take whenever you pick up that Tusk. It is, I would say, probably more similar to like a Shadow Demon as an anti-Batrider tool. The only problem is, even though you will be able to eventually blink in, snowball your sniper, keep him safe, you're going to snowball into the Batrider, and then the Batrider is probably going to be more in his team. So though your sniper might be safe from the lasso, he's still going to be dragged in with the snowball towards the enemies, and that could be messy. And Power Rangers already have the Earthshaker and now the Witch Doctor as two supports versus the Tusk. Up against Tusk, you really want to have heroes with AoE skills that are pretty easy to line up, because when the enemies pop out of the snowball, they're going to be clumped up. Fissure and Cask and Maledict all destroy the Tusk at that point.
Yeah, it's really good at punishing that extra bit of clumpiness in the early game. I'm not sure if that's actually the way I should put it, but either way, Power Ranger is also going to get a nice amount of damage coming out from the Witch Doctor's Death Ward, and in combination with the lasso, some very easy kills can get set up once Batrider gets his Blink Dagger.
Yeah, and if you put Maledict on someone beforehand, then even the Dazzle getting a Shallow Grave off, though it will save the hero who's graved for a little while, isn't really going to guarantee their safety, just because Maledict does do such an obscene amount of damage with that Death Ward. And when you have a free roll with the lasso, yeah, you're probably going to get some pretty easy kills. aSpera, going to grab a Centaur War Runner, even though someone like Clockwork's still in the pool. They're going to go for the Centaur, and it's a hero that has fallen off quite a bit. It's fine when you partner up with a Tusk if you want to be very aggressive. In fact, aSpera can even look towards dual or offensive tri-lanes right now.
Yeah, I think that's probably the idea with the Centaur pick and why they snag him over somebody like the Clockwork, just having that synergy with the team. A snowball with Dazzle, Tusk, and Centaur inside of them is almost a guaranteed kill at the early portion of the game, especially if they can isolate somebody along the lines of the Witch Doctor. Power Rangers going to go ahead and pick up the Juggernaut. All things considered, I think Power Rangers have a more stable lineup. With the Witch Doctor Earthshaker as their supporting core, they have a decent amount of lockdown, and now a lot of damage too coming out from this Jug.
Yeah, just a very safe selection of heroes. They can play this very slow. They're going to obviously go with the Batrider once he gets his Blink Dagger, but for aSpera, I mean, they have a very focused, aggressive draft, and you could say that that's, a bad draft, or you could say, oh, Power Rangers have a drafting advantage or whatever. But aSpera, clearly they have the strategy of their own, and it's up to them to execute it, really, whereas for Power Rangers, they're most likely going to be reactive. Juggernaut is another hero that you want to have on your team if you're going up against a Tusk. Blade Fury keeps the Juggernaut perfectly safe as a snowball, and of course Omni Slash can punish the heroes that pop out of snowball because odds are there's no creeps with them. So it's a pretty nice hero to have with Witch Doctor and Earthshaker in general, but all these heroes that Power Rangers have taken so far, whether intentionally or not, are really good up against the Tusk, and that's just part of the reason why we don't see Tusk. It's very obvious when he's coming in, and it's very easy to prepare yourself for that snowball initiation.
Yeah, at the moment, aSpera are pretty locked down light. They'll ban out the Morphling, and hopefully that's going to secure their lineup a little bit more. At the moment, it's just the Tusk in the center when it comes to their stuns, and those aren't the most reliable, especially until you get Blink Daggers.
And if they do get fast blink daggers, then surprisingly the likes of Witch Doctor, Shaker, Batrider definitely can give them a lot of momentum in this game. I mean, they have a lot of damage with that sniper, but again, Power Rangers, though they don't have, the best ways of getting to the sniper, they're missing like the Storm Spirit or whatever to try to get into the face of the sniper. They will have enough to close in with the Batrider, Shaker, Fissure as well, and Juggernaut with, I would assume to be a Mask of Madness, just to run in and, well, just a couple of swipes with that sword, and the sniper is not going to be living too long, so it's going to be a very defensive game for aSpera around their sniper while at the same time playing very aggressively. It's a lot to ask for from a draft, and in that sense, I'm liking where Power Rangers going. Maybe it's just because they have a lot of safe heroes. Maybe it's just because I'm not too sure about this Tusk, but either way, aSpera, they're going to finish their lineup off with the Lycan. That actually fills a couple of those gaps. Nice frontline hero.
Yeah, and also going to offer them some damage onto the front line, although there's no other summons to benefit from the Howl. In and of himself, Lycanthrope does a lot of structural damage, and is going to help quite a bit with the push if they are able to win fights with this Tusk. It is a very dangerous balancing game for aSpera. If they're able to pull it off, their lineup could be very explosive, but then again, I think it's a lot harder to pull off than what Power Rangers is bringing to the table. The fifth pick for them is going to be Zeus, played by Axmo.
Yeah, most likely just going to go ahead towards that middle lane, and you're most likely going to be expecting a sniper to be your lane opponent for Power Rangers, though they do have power enough to go for offensive tri-lane. Jug, Witch, Doctor, Shaker most likely just going to play defensive tri-lane, Batrider, jungle / off lane, Zeus mid, and for aSpera it should be pretty similarly for them. Sniper in the mid, Lycan safe with Tusk Dazzle, maybe playing a heavy roaming role, but Centaur going towards off lane. Lanes are pretty transparent for both of these two teams. They can mix it up a little bit if they want to play aggressively or whatever, but yeah, it's pretty clear to see what's going to happen.
Yeah, I would like to see both of these teams really roam pretty heavily. Earthshaker and Witch Doctor, just with the raw amount of CC they bring, can very easily get kills onto the sniper in mid, and I'd expect that to be where a lot of the focus of this game is put. The aSpera lineup is going to be Khan playing on the center, going towards the off lane. Our supports, Captain Love on the Tusk, and Dazzle, played by Smiley, going to be sporting Iceberg on the sniper, and last but not least, we'll have Lycanthrope, played by the Apathy.
And for Power Rangers, Cheshire Cat is going to be playing the Batrider, 2 rings of protection, so quite a bit of tankiness on this Bat. Axmo is going to be handling the Zeus. Jotum standing in is on the Shaker. Got J4 on the Witch Doctor. Is going to be going up towards top with Dityaraz Juggernaut in a defensive tri-lane that aSpera may or may not want to heavily contest. They have boots first in the Tusk, and they're going to run into Jotum. This snowball is going to hurt. It's 2 heroes in with the hoof stomp there. There's 1 layer of shrapnel. I don't even think they need any more. Fissure is going to buy him a little bit of time. Might as well cast it because you're dead anyway. And Tusk is going to get the team a very quick and easy first blood.
And this is a little bit of a taste of things to come, or at least hopefully for aSpera. That aggressive potential with the Centaur snowballs are pretty ridiculous, especially if Smiley's close by. The heal bombs can do quite a lot. They'll place a ward in mid and look to secure this early bounty rune, even though they got the kill way before then. And maybe, just maybe, they can secure both of them. Lycanthrope's down towards bottom. I'm not sure that Batrider really has the potential to zone him off of this.
Yeah, Firefly level 1 is kind of mediocre. It's really level 2 where Batrider can do something like that. Obviously, he's only level 1, so he can't. So it should be both bounty runes going the way of aSpera, and really that snowball gank, really an indication of things to come, or at least that's the game plan for aSpera for things to come. You snowball in, you get the hoof stomp, which is pretty much guaranteed unless you're not snowballing onto the Earthshaker, and then you get that heal bomb. Any shrapnel or anything extra is just bonus. This Earthshaker is, right now, one of the tankier heroes for the Power Rangers side, so if they brought down a hero that easily, then they could very easily bring down the likes of Witch Doctor, Zeus, who are a little bit weaker than that Earthshaker.
Up towards top, Witch Doctor gets the bounty rune. Now the spin damage onto Khan is going to be enough to kill off this Centaur, as he got a little too greedy for that bounty rune as they rotate the Tusk down towards bottom. If he had supports nearby, probably could have secured it, but without that extra bit of help, it's going to type the kill score 1-1.
All right, so yeah, Centaur just biting off a little bit more than he can chew. He's going to actually catch J4 with the hoof stomp. He doesn't have boots first, but he has creep wave support. Cask is thrown. J4, will he die to the creeps? No, he gets a double bounce onto Hakon. My god, that was lucky. I have a feeling that if that secondary cask bounce bounced to any of the other creeps, that would have been the Witch Doctor dying.
Yeah, very close gate for the Witch Doctor, and that would have been really good for the Centaur too, offering him a much easier laning stage. He might end up struggling a little bit, but regardless, he still zones the Witch Doctor out, forcing J4 to go back into some pulls. He only has a handful of tangos left.
And Cheshire Cat down on the bottom lane, gonna have maybe an equally rough time. However, here's a little bit of a weakness of aSpera's roaming duo. They don't really work that well with Lycan. You could bring Lycan in with the snowball, but after you actually go in with that snowball, you don't really have that much time, or you don't really have that much crowd control in order to make use of the Lycan's damage output. Ideally, you're gonna be able to summon top. Yeah, Hakon's walled off, and simple spin. Hakon maybe denied by the birds, but no, Witch Doctor can draw that kill.
Yeah, really nice Fissure block coming out from the Earthshaker. Through the entire early part of this laning stage, Jotham's been sitting inside the river looking for a block either over in this vicinity or over here, and he found it, so they're going to get a second kill. Batrider dropped incredibly low down towards bottom, but Cheshire Cat is able to skate away. That's some Ring of Protection value there.
Yeah, one ring of protection or one fewer branch. Either way, he might be going down, but he gets to live. Only one tango left, so he's probably just going to have to base. It does take a long time to get all the way back to the base, then all the way back to the lane. But it's better than dying, I suppose. So, yeah, what I was saying about this Lycan is that they could bring him in for a couple of right clicks. He could summon the wolves, ideally for a heal bomb. But you don't really have that much time to make that combo happen. So it's going to be a little bit rough on the Lycan down towards bottom. At least these supports will have to play a little bit more hands-off role when it comes to supporting their Lycan. And they're going to do that by going aggressive over towards mid. Axmo's a level 3 Zeus. This guy does put out some serious damage, but will it be enough to stop this snowball? There's illusions in there? No, there weren't. But he's ice sharded away from his tower, and that will be a very easy kill on the Zeus. Sniper pretty much wasn't even needed there.
No, not really. Jotham was over on the sidelines, but he'd already attempted a fissure onto the Sniper, so I had no mana to really offer his help, and Sniper, with just a little bit of extra help, can very easily kill off the Zeus. He's incredibly fragile. Fissure block over onto the aforementioned Sniper. Now Iceberg might be the one to eat a death as Jotham blocks him off perfectly. Iceberg's trapped in the corner, and he's going to get punched down by the Earthshaker.
And Jotham only with a score of 1-1-1 yet. It seems like he's just doing everything for the Power Rangers side. I guess I say only score 1-1. It seems like he deserves a better score at this stage, even though the Power Rangers only have 3 kills. He's been getting his fissures pretty much every single time, perfectly on point. The exception being that one time where he got caught off for first blood, but there's not much you can do about that as any hero. If this Earthshaker keeps playing like this, then Iceberg is just going to slowly but surely lose grasp of this lane. Support from his Tusk or Dazzle, it doesn't even matter at that point. Centaur can similarly go down to this Earthshaker's rotation, so John's being a menace, and he's just locking down the top lane and mid lane so that his friendly carries can just farm it up.
Yeah, if the Centaur gets a little too comfortable, tries to go up to the creep wave, get a little bit of experience, he could end up taking the risk of being blocked off. The Radiant Vision actually doesn't spot out this Earthshaker movement throughout the river, but Jotham is playing very nomadically on the Earthshaker and doing a pretty good job of it too. He's prepared a handful of stacks for the Batrider as well, so even if Cheshire Cat ends up getting zoned out completely, he has some bit of farm to fall back on.
Alright, we got a Dazzle actually grabbing a Haste Rune. Where is the Tusk? Captain Love is maybe going to meet up with the Dazzle over in mid. Axmo is looking like a pretty tasty target. Sniper does have 3 stacks of shrapnel right now, and it's actually never mind. Captain Love going to go up towards top lane. Comboing up with Hakon, definitely the easiest way to get the offensive power of Tusk to actually get kills, as long as you're not going for this Juggernaut.
Yeah, at the moment, it's just 2 of the defense. Oh, hold that thought. We have a snowball. It's going to go over towards the Witch Doctor, actually connecting with the Whip Stomp, Ice Shards, and a double-edged, very easy kill onto J4. I'm not sure how they found that angle, but it worked out wonderfully for them. I believe this ward is what gave them the vision for that.
Over towards mid, they're going to try to go for a kill on Axmo, but it's going to be again the Earthshaker to brick wall that. Batrider, though, on bottom gets a solo kill on the Lycan. Now, that is not what you want to see if you are aSpera. They're doing a great job roaming around with this Tusk. I would say so far the Tusk has made himself worth the pick, but it just seems like wherever the Tusk goes, leaves weaknesses in the other lanes. Batrider versus Lycan in a straight-up lane scenario is pretty heavily favored towards the Batrider, especially if the Lycan does not yet have his level 6.
Yeah, it's something that's pretty easy to get caught out by if you're just a little too careless when it comes to keeping eyes on those sticky napalm stacks. You can end up going down, and the Apathy, unfortunately, is going to start this out 0-1. The Batrider is benefiting pretty heavily because of these support rotations. He's managed to find himself a decent amount of farm and almost level 6 here.
And Cheshire Cat's Batrider, once he does grab a Blink Dagger in level 6, he does some pretty impressive performances with this hero, so it might be a little bit difficult for aSpera to deal with that bat once he actually gets to that point. And it doesn't seem like they can very easily shut him down before he gets to that point either. It's only Dazzle hanging around this bottom lane, and Batrider is not going to fear Dazzle. Clearly doesn't fear Lycan, otherwise he would have gotten that solo kill. So he's very comfortably sitting on this bottom lane. I don't really know if he's going to fear anyone or anything from aSpera, with the exception being Tusk and Centaur together. And the odds of Centaur and Tusk going from top to bottom just to try to get the Batrider kill is very slim. He's going to get sharded off from his escape. Assassinate is there with the snowball. Cheshire Cat dropping very low, and he will die to the snowball, albeit barely. Captain Love walled off by a fissure, so he has to go the long way around to safety, but he has a bottle. He has a lot of HP right now, and he has boots. He will get out of there safe and sound.
Yeah, pretty slick kill coming out from aSpera. Not much needed one at that. It's going to give Tusk a lot of experience on that Batrider pickoff, and the Dazzle too. Both of these supports are going to be very happy because of it.
And, well, it's going to be Batrider down. He's actually going to go for Ring of Basilius instead of going straight for that Blink, so definitely getting his basic items up for now. Over towards mid, we do have Captain Love and Smiley hiding behind Iceberg, trying to get a pick off onto Axmo right now, but Axmo definitely smells something is up right now. Assassination plus Shrapnel, not going to be committed in its entirety, but this is a very threatening duo of roamers. It's not really like your really standard usual roamers, but man, clearly the Tusk and Dazzle are doing some serious work.
Ditchura's rotated into the woods as they give J4 a little bit of space on this Witch Doctor, going to put him closer and closer towards that level 6. However, if there are any support rotations in, Khan with just a snowball or with just a little heal support from the Dazzle can very easily get this kill, and it looks like that's going to be the course of action. They're smoked up, and maybe they can even find Ditchura. He does have his level 6, however, so it's not the easiest of kills, but they're going to go for it anyway. With 3 heroes in the snowball, they're going incredibly fast. Ditchura has a spin. He doesn't even need to use it, however, the snowball wasn't able to bridge to that gap. Long Fissure stuns out all 3 of them. Can they focus down Smiley? He has a grave, however, so actually getting that kill is a different story. Some rotations forced out on top, but that's about it.
I don't know if there's really any scenario where they actually get the kill on that Juggernaut. Blade Fury keeps him safe from pretty much everything, and really the only way that aSpera get kills in this top lane is if they go for anyone but the Juggernaut. In that case, very easily done, but they just don't have the physical right-click damage to actually kill off the Juggernaut with such low amounts of disable. Maybe if their Lycan was here as well, they'd be able to burst him down or chop him down eventually, but Lycan is on the bottom lane, so that's clearly not going to be happening. So the roam support for aSpera, though they would love to get a kill on this Juggernaut, they just can't. They just don't have the proper heroes. They just don't have the proper crowd control. You can't surprise him with a hoof stomp when it's in a snowball like that.
Yeah, and although I can understand them wanting to go for this kill, Cichura's had a pretty free time being involved in 2 kills as well. It's probably better just to focus on the Zeus or just get a couple of support picks because they are so easy to come by.
And this is, so far been a pretty good game for this Tusk, but Tusk, when the game does drag on, typically tends to fall off very, very, very hard. He has a Walrus Punch for a small amount of disable, small amount of damage, and, the Sigil is pretty good, but other than that, his offensive capabilities will, from time to time, put your team in more trouble than it's actually worth. So this Tusk needs to have a great start, and, well, he needs to just keep up this pressure, which is so far slowly starting to taper off. Stampede on Centaur is going to help out quite a bit, plus the Lycan having his Shapeshift. Nice ultimates for aSpera to have, but for Power Rangers, I think they're just sitting pretty. The Juggernaut's leading the way in the farm, Zeus not too far behind, the Sniper over in the mid lane, but they're really not under that much pressure.
No, I don't think so either. A lot of this pressure has been relieved by Jotum. He's been in the right place at the right time pretty much all the time. The Earthshaker play, even though he's still only 1-1-1, is working out pretty nicely for them, ensuring that Axmo doesn't end up dying in mid on the Zeus, and that's a task in and of itself. Lycanthrope's going to be going for that Vladimir's offering next. Once he has it, Roshan is opened up for aSpera, so maybe that's their next major objective that they look for.
The problem with that is that Zeus has Thunder God's Wrath, Batrider is Batrider, so it's very easy for Power Rangers to scout that one out, and if you're scouted out this early on when you're trying to solo Roshan or kill Roshan in any capacity, odds are it's not really going to be working out great for you. We have a smoke up from Jotum just to hang around the Zeus. It's going to be blown by an invisible Centaur, so he knows exactly what's going on, but Axmo does not apparently. There's a Hoof Stomp waiting for him, and Sniper is there. Double Edge Assassinate will get the kill on Axmo, Fissure or not. That's going to be a very easy kill, set up by Lucky and Vizrune.
Yeah, unfortunate for them. The Earthshaker expected the smoke to be broken by somebody on the high ground and ended up going to check that. and instead it was the Invis Centaur. Nobody expects the Invis Centaur. It's going to notch another kill for aSpera inside this mid lane. I hear Shapeshift going as Lycan looks to dive this Earthshaker with the medallion. The physical damage should be more than enough. Sniper comes through from the sidelines. The Fissure buys him a little bit more space, but not near enough space as he gets munched down by the Wolf. That's your Vladimir's offering up, and the Apathy will go back and farm up jungle.
Man, you never expect the ganking Lycan. Killing off the Shaker pretty darn easy, as he only has really the Fissure to keep him safe. Enchant Totem with only 1 point Aftershock is, though a stun, really not a relevant stun, so very easy chase down there for aSpera. Getting another kill on another hero, which is all well and good, but I'm really concerned that they're not getting the right kills on the right heroes. Batrider's closing in very rapidly towards his Blink Dagger. In fact, with this camp clear, he should have, or he's going to be very close to it, especially if top lane they get the tower. And Ditchura already with the Mask of Madness phase boots is going to be pretty stacked as well. So for aSpera, yeah, they can kill off the Shaker as many times as they want, but it's not really going to help them too much when the Batrider comes in with the Blink and when the Juggernaut is like 4 or 5 slotted.
Yeah, it is going to get pretty scary for them. Juggernaut is going to get that tower destruction up towards the top lane as they look for rotation in mid. Smoked up Jotum and Axmo want to kill off this Sniper and probably can do this very easily. Fissure, oh my goodness, easiest kill of their life if they can actually close in for one more Thunderbolt, but they can't. Not with the Centaur ultimate now, with the Assassinate. No, he's not going to end up throwing that, but he survives by the skin of his teeth. Unfortunately, they use the ultimate of the Zeus a little bit earlier, down towards bottom. Fight's breaking out with the Grave. They'll be able to keep the Apathy alive for a little bit longer. With Stick Charge is not going to be enough as he gets crit down by Ditchura. Chasing a little bit further, they're going to catch out Smiley with Paralyzing Cask and 2 stacks of the Napalm. He's going to get body blocked, and, well, Death Ward is going to be dropped down too. He ends up dying.
So I didn't really realize that J4 had a Hand of Midas, but he does. It's not like that really helped out in that particular engagement, but man, good late game scenario for Power Ranger Cheshire showing off his Blink, dragging the Lycan really deep in. They were forced to use the Omni Slash on a Grave target because he was teleporting out. Not exactly what you want to be doing, but hey, if it gets a kill, then it gets a kill, and you're going to be happy with that regardless. But this is just the start of the Batrider. This is just the start of the Juggernaut that aSpera have so far been unable to stop. And if you compare that to the Centaur right now, Centaur is quite a ways away until he can get a Blink Dagger of his own, and even if he does, it typically doesn't have as much of an impact as that of the Batrider. So aSpera, they are doing pretty well on their Lycan and Sniper as well as farm is concerned, but with proper initiation from Power Rangers, aSpera are just going to be scrambling for answers, as they themselves don't have any way of counter-initiating, and they don't have any way of initiating themselves, except for the Snowball, which at this point is a less than ideal way of getting into the fight.
Yeah, the Hand of Midas on the Witch Doctor is really the benefit of them rotating the Juggernaut into the jungle so very quickly. And I actually quite like it. It's going to offer J4 a lot of levels, and Aghanim Scepter is all but assured to come out this game. The Snowballs could end up being disastrous for aSpera. If they get caught out by a Fissure plus Death Ward that's Aghanimed up, they probably just all end up dying. 4 heroes are grouped up going to smoke as they look to get a kill and secure a little bit of extra space as the Apathy does go for Roshan. The Thunder God's Wrath is up and running for Axmo, but for the time being, they're not going to pop it. And, well, actually, they're just going to go straight into the pit with all of these smoked heroes. The Batrider's close by. He knows this is going on with a couple stacks of the Napalm, and maybe this Roshan doesn't go too well for aSpera after all. The Earthshaker is also close by as the rest of Power Rangers come to collapse onto it. Ice Shards are going to go up to the high ground and block off the Batrider for the time being, but well, Roshan's dropping low. Who's going to secure it? It's going to be picked up by the Lycanthrope as an initiation goes out into the sidelines. J4 is going to be blown up before he can do anything. The Centaur gets flame broken up onto the high ground, but it doesn't look like that's going to have a great impact as the action is going to end up slowing down. Captain Love is here with the Snowball, but instead Hakon's going to end up deciding to TP out. The Roshan's successful for aSpera.
A little bit of unfortunate timing there for Power Rangers. They ended up using the Firefly to see aSpera start Roshan, but by the time they actually needed the Firefly to steal Roshan or, make a play there, Cheshire just didn't have it. Firefly cooldown is pretty long at 40 seconds, and if you use it at the wrong time, then, well, you're just going to be completely screwed out of vision. Thunder God's Wrath or not. Jotum also trying to defend the bottom lanes, getting hit in the Snowball and then demolished. I don't really know what he was doing there against that many heroes. He knows that the enemies are pretty darn fast with the Snowball and Shapeshift, so Jotum throwing his life away. And aSpera, they have the Aegis. They're not afraid to just keep on going, put what damage they can into this tier 2 tower. In fact, they might even take it.
It's a combination that we didn't talk about in the draft, but Stampede plus Snowball is actually pretty legit at making that Snowball go at lightning speeds. Tier 2 tower should end up falling pretty easily. I don't expect Power Rangers to look for a wholehearted defense with the Lycanthrope at the tower, as is the Sniper. They'll instead settle for a tower trade as they take a tier 1 tower in mid. This is alright for Power Rangers, I want to say. That is, if they can actually get it. The Glyph is going to pull them away, and it looks like the best that they can hope for is a tower denial.
And they're probably going to get the deny as well. J4 in the area, but not for long. Blink forward, Hoofstomp in the Shrapnel as well. Well, I don't even know if Shrapnel did much there. It's mostly the Centaur doing the heavy lifting. It's a tier 2, a couple towers for aSpera and a tower deny. Insult to injury to say the least. Cheshire Cat trying to make a play in the back lines, but he's all alone. Can't really do that much there. And aSpera, off of that Roshan, have taken already quite a few objectives. The Blink Dagger on the Centaur also being shown up for a kill, and they can probably look for a couple more straight-up pushes, especially since Lycan is just a hop, skip, and a jump away from his level 1 Necrobook. Though, you know, it's not really the most impressive item in the game, just a level 1 Necrobook. Anything that you could help to throw against these towers is certainly going to be useful for aSpera, and it's definitely worth waiting for that additional item before they go for another push.
Yeah, I think so too. That was a really greedy move by the Witch Doctor to try for that tower destruction. Sometimes you just have to go for it, and since he didn't know that the Centaur had a Blink Dagger, I guess it's excusable, but either way. The game's going to slow down a little bit as aSpera are going to wait for that next item up on their Lycanthrope, but these tier 1 towers in mid and top are probably going to be the next ones to fall.
And for Power Rangers, I don't really know if they can make a defense. They probably can make trades because the Juggernaut is working with so much damage, has a very glass cannon-y type build for himself. Yashimask, Manus, Phase Boots, all contributing to his destruction power. He does have backup behind him, but man, Power Rangers, though they can get a couple of these trades, there's absolutely no way in hell that they can race a Lycan with Necrobook. Although he doesn't have Necrobook on his person right now, the Lycan is just going to push faster. That's just how it's going to be. So top lane tower is going to be destroyed, and it was so easy that they might even want to go for a little bit more. Maybe if Power Rangers are lucky, they get a tier 2 tower on the bottom lane, but it doesn't seem like they're going fast enough for that.
Yeah, and it looks like aSpera are going to fall back and try to defend this either way. Iceberg is already there on the sniper, needs to wait for a couple more heroes close by. However, the Tusk and Centaur are going to come in shortly. Ikon's in mid lane, potentially waiting for the Witch Doctor, as the push is going to be dissuaded in bottom. The Lycanthrope doesn't get any substantial tower damage onto the top tier 2, in fact nothing, so in the end, it's just a posturing game. Neither team actually takes any objective.
Well, Power Rangers still farming really well with this Juggernaut. Witch Doctor's going to be accelerating in farm by quite a bit as well. Plus, they have Travels now on Cheshire Cat. In fact, 2 boots. Rather early double boots, but hey, Travels are pretty good, so might as well go ahead and grab that. Blink Dagger crucially missing on the Shaker, and it looks like he's not going to have that one for quite a long time. But for aSpera, they still have their Aegis, and that's really the only item that they need to be fighting comfortably right now. And they also had the Blink Dagger previously on the Centaur. Tier 1 tower was very easily taken. They can go for more. Although the Aegis is going to start to time out, they're going to set up instead for Ditchara. Apathy, shapeshifted up, he's a wolf, and blink in, Hoofstomp, surprise Ditchara, and in an instant, the Juggernaut is down. In the meantime, over towards mid lane, it's going to be Iceberg, pulled back in, Death Ward and Maledict. He has no chance to get out of here, so he's going to fight to the death, and he's going to die very quickly. It's a 1-for-1, fairly even trade, I would say.
If anything, slightly favoring aSpera, since the Batrider and Lycan are the ones involved in the kill, and they kill off the Juggernaut, who is the highest farmed hero on the map, but yeah, I think Power Rangers are going to be alright with that. Neither team actually comes ahead in any significant fashion when it comes to the golden experience change. We'll just call that dead even.
Right, so dead even trade, and it's going to slow down aSpera's pushing. So even though for Power Rangers, losing your Juggernaut is pretty darn bad, they're gonna get a little bit more time where their towers aren't being pushed, and it's not exactly, you know, a huge consolation, but it's better than nothing. Really, their late game power is all in Ditchara in this Juggernaut. I mean, Zeus's damage pretty good. The Witch Doctor's Aghanim Scepter very fast, therefore can also be a pretty large impact, but it's hard to out late game a Sniper and a Lycan with Dazzle support. Just a tall order, to say the least. So aSpera have pretty decent control over this game right now. Their Aegis has since timed out, but their aggression is not going to stop. John up towards top is pretty much only going to be soloed by Hakon. Of course, Captain Love is going to steal that kill with Snowball, but such an easy kill for aSpera, and they can do that to so many heroes in Power Rangers.
Yeah, set up by this Observer Ward, it looks like Power Rangers expect there to be some sort of vision around the vicinity, but that ward's already paid for itself. They've kept tabs on the enemy heroes quite frequently, between the Invis Wolves and consistent warding vision coming out from aSpera, which is pretty impressive up against a Zeus too. The aSpera side have been able to keep up most of their observers, although that's not going to maintain the case inside mid, as Axmo is going to discover one.
He's going to discover one, but that's just a small little boon for Zeus. And of course, because uphill mischance is the most bullshit thing in Dota, it's going to take Axmo a little bit longer to actually clear that out. However, in the meantime, aSpera, with their aggressive combo, are looking for kills up towards top. Jotum is going to be the ideal target right now, but aSpera don't really want to be diving into tier 2 tower without their sniper, who's coming in with the haste rune, and Jotum is in no man's land, not where you want to be. It's just a couple of shots from the sniper, plus initiation from Hakon, and Earthshaker's down. Yeah, I can understand wanting to ward. Very valiant, very good thing to do, but just not in that area. Zeus, in the meantime, is also going to die solo to the apathy. Power Rangers are getting picked apart right now, and they're losing structures.
Yeah, tier 1 tower in mid's going to get munched down by the Lycanthrope as the sniper chips away at the tier 2 tower up towards top. Zeus actually dies in base. Looks like a failed TP attempt. Blink Hoof Stomp from Hakon is going to be off the mark. They actually didn't have any vision. It's fine to go for blind jumps like that. It goes unpunished. Tier 2 tower up top is going to end up following and suffering a similar fate as to the one in mid. The Necrobook army is going to be alive for a little bit longer yet, so they'll get some amount of tier 2 damage as well in mid.
Well, aSpera are going to get their top tower. However, they have lost the bottom tier 2 tower as well, so it will be even trades. And yeah, I mean, it's definitely going to be even trades, and even a stampede to disengage. Wow, okay, aSpera taking no chances when it comes to these pushes. I suppose it is, might as well use it. It's not really a high cooldown anyway. They're going to secure this Sanjin Yasha for the sniper, has a Mask of Madness as well. Once he gets one more item, the sniper is going to be dishing and moving very, very quick. So it's up to Power Rangers to actually use their ultimates to get to the sniper. But so far, I mean, Batrider, Juggernauts, Omni Slash, they've used their ultimates occasionally, but this hasn't really been a really heavy lasso game. It hasn't really been a game where Ichiro has had many chances to use the Omni Slash. He's mostly just been AFK farming.
Yeah, pretty much. Power Rangers have been mostly playing reactive Dota, and that's alright, although I think there is some missed potential for kills that they could have gotten. But this might change once J4 picks up his Aghanim Scepter. Bare minimum, it's 15 seconds away. His next Midas usage will secure it.
Top lane, I think Cheshire Cat's going to bite the dust soon. He has Boots of Travel, but he's spotted by the creeps, and he is. Actually, no, Centaur's going to walk into a creep wave as well, but they get the snowball in, and it will go pretty deep into Cheshire Cat. He will blink off to the right side, and with a blink, Centaur is going to whiff that initiation as well. Here comes the rest of Power Rangers. They know that the Centaur is stuck in the trees. That's going to be one very, very easy kill for the Power Rangers side. Can they get the second? They see Captain Love there with Thunder God's Wrath, and they should be able to chase down this Tusk, although he just picked up a Blink Dagger. He will blink off to the left side, and he will be fine. So it is a botched game from aSpera, but yeah, sometimes the creep wave is just in the wrong place at the wrong time. Fortunately for aSpera, they get out with their Tusk, and Blink Dagger, now up on the Tusk, is a pretty sick defensive item.
Yeah, and they still are farming on the Sniper and Lycanthrope in the meantime, so not all is lost for their team. But there's your Aghanim Scepter for the Witch Doctor. This is incredibly scary. 23 minutes into the game, there's not much that's more threatening than a level 2 Death Ward that's Aghanim'd upgrade.
Yeah, that could really do some damage, assuming aSpera don't have proper CC for that. They're going to find Cheshire Cat, actually, who blinked over the river and into some trees. Iceberg with the Sanjayasha, Mask of Madness is on the chase. Stampede helping out a little bit as well. Cheshire Cat gets turned around before he force staffs. That must have been a misclick. Like, you don't force staff back in like that ever.
No, I'm really tempted to say that he just ended up clicking a little too far away on that ramp and ends up turning around. Regardless, I don't think he gets out of there, although his chances would have been a lot better if he forced down to the low ground. With this pickoff, aSpera going to feel a little bit more comfortable to push out, although there's no tier 2 towers immediately in this bottom lane.
Unfortunately, they still have to wait a little bit longer until Roshan is going to be alive. They don't have a sigil. They won't have a sigil there when he responds, I don't believe. Sigil's going to die. Wolves are also going to time out beforehand. But why get Roshan when you can take Rax's? Rax's seem better to me, and this tier 3 tower is not fortifiable. It'll very quickly be destroyed. They are woven up by the Dazzle as well, and Power Rangers, they just don't have the initiation power right now. Apathy's going to chow down on this on bottom lane. Rax is, and at the same time, they're going to find it draw off onto the left side. He will spin away, get some cover with the fissure. Thunder God's Wrath doing a lot of damage to the Apathy. Lycan might die. No, he gets graved up. It's going to be Hack going to take the most damage, as Cheshire Cat does dive in. Going to go Shaver Smiley, and he cancels Iper's TP on the retreat. Cheshire Cat should be able to chase down the sniper, put a lot of damage onto him. Whether or not he'll get this kill, well, everyone else is going to disengage. Let's see what happens. Iceberg still on the run, is fire flown up. Mask of Madness not exactly helping him right now, but Stampede going to get him a lot of distance. Flame Break from downtown, and Cheshire Cat does draw the double, but aSpera have already taken what matters. They've already claimed melee Rax very early in the game. Even though Power Rangers might take Roshan, I think aSpera have got to be happy with how that went.
Yeah, I think so too. It's the power of the Lycanthrope, and honestly, I wasn't sure they'd be able to get away with it, but Power Rangers just weren't in the position at the right time in order to take that high ground defense. Dichira is going to find himself a second life once they mop up this Roshan. That's useful and all for Power Rangers, but this constant pressure in bottom lane is going to be really annoying for them, and a step in the right direction for aSpera. The next high ground push is going to be that much easier.
Alright, so aSpera, they're going to be at full strength in about another 20 seconds, 30 seconds rather. Centaur will have a Stampede by then, and looks like he's going for a Crimson Guard. He should have that one up as well. Power Rangers, they're going to play on the offensive, perhaps for a couple of moments, but man, if they spread out, then they're just in so much trouble. Like, even the mid lane, Jotum, feeling comfortable because he's still more or less on his side of the map. He's not going to be completely safe because of the blinking power of the Tusk and Centaur, and their kill potential is huge, so Power Rangers, they have to stay together. Right now, with their positioning, like with Dichira in the Ancient area, bottom lane is J4 wandering around. This is not really a safe positioning for Power Rangers to be in. If aSpera were at all grouped up, they could be punishing this.
Yeah, Lycanthrope and company are going to start pushing out this top lane, although not very heavily. aSpera's jumping power is very threatening, and really it kind of feels like the Batrider for Power Rangers is not performing as well as they'd like it to be, and especially once Cheshire Cat gets picked off, at that point there's really nothing that Power Rangers can do to set up these fights. They still lack a Blink Dagger on the Earthshaker. Lycanthrope going to pop his ultimate as they go for top, looking for the Blink Hoof Stomp. It is going to be on the mark, just on the edge, as Cheshire Cat gets munched down. Although Juggernaut, Zeus, and Witch Doctor are collapsing onto these heroes, they might be able to get a pick off on Hakan. With the Omni Slash, it looks like they will, although Stampede's going to buy him a little bit more space, and Hakan is damn tanky with that Vanguard. The spin is going to dodge the Hoof Stomp, and that is going to be kill onto Khan as the Witch Doctor gets mopped up by the Lycanthrope and dies in turn to the Zeus, still getting pursued out by Necro units. Doesn't look like they'll be able to pursue any further in a 2-for-2 bloodbath in top lane.
Really awkward to see aSpera using only 2 heroes to fight up on top lane, where the rest of the heroes are all on the bottom half of the map. Like, usually you would want to have backup kind of in transit, because if you do get the kill on the Batrider, you are going to open up yourselves for a push if you actually have the team there. So by only committing 2 heroes, aSpera were kind of saying, okay, the plan is to get this kill, and that's it. We just want to get this kill and then get the hell out of there, which is fine, but when you have so much pushing power, if you just assemble all of your heroes up on top lane, you can get the push after that kill, and then, well, if there's a fight happening afterwards, you could probably take that one as well. Omni Slash doesn't really do too well when he's just Omni Slashing a snowball. So aSpera, they're going to make a kind of an odd decision, and it's going to end up resulting in their Lycan dying. Granted, Lycan is still extremely big right now. Level 3 Necrobuck has been purchased for quite a long time now, plus he has another 3,800 gold in the bank, so it's not too bad for aSpera, but just really weird to see them deciding to leave the rest of their heroes, their supports crucially, on the bottom half of the map.
Yeah, that is going to cost Lycanthrope a little bit of time before he gets his Black King bar up, but he is going to have that very shortly. Once they have that item for aSpera, I think that they can look for a similar move, but if they bring everybody close by, it'll look a lot nicer for them. That is unless they get cut out by this Blink Dagger from the Earthshaker. Stampede going to be used by the Centaur for bottom lane, it seems, actually, as the Snowball is going to be accelerated. However, with Boots of Travel, the Juggernaut is going to come in as he goes on the backlines, immediately trying to burst down Iceberg. They lose their Batrider, however. Now Dichira is constantly being slowed by the Sigil over in the sidelines. Healing Word or not, he can't pursue any further. Sigil's so annoying.
And Sniper just absolutely wrecked that Batrider. That wasn't even funny. He just popped the Mask of Madness, went deep with the Maelstrom up towards top J4. Gonna get jumped by Hakon, and Sniper is there as well. Very easily done kills. Iceberg is gonna get 2 kills in the span of a very short period of time. That's gonna be a pretty large opening for aSpera if they were all together. Unfortunately for them, they're not. They're going to go for a mid-tier 2. Snowball into Axmo. He does have a Force Staff out, Blink out from the Earthshaker. Walling possible, although with no Fissure on cooldown, probably not possible. Captain Love is going to hit with the said Fissure, and now he's in a little bit of trouble. Thunder God's Wrath will kill him off, as Tusk going to go a little bit too deep. Also drops a gem that Dichira or someone on Power Rangers is going to grab. It's going to be the Earthshaker. And aSpera, they're still just refusing to group up as 5 and actually go for these pushes and team fights. It's kind of questionable, and this is like the 3rd kill that Power Rangers have gotten because aSpera have just not been grouped up.
Yeah, I think it's kind of unfortunate for them. Although Power Rangers' ability to take a 5-on-5 fight is very threatening, if aSpera are going to go for these tower pushes, they need to bring in full forces. There's a DD on the Lycanthrope for now, but it's just going to be used for farming. And, well, it kind of feels like they are losing a little bit of their momentum. The Aegis, however, on the Juggernaut isn't going to be used for anything substantial, as that should be timing out momentarily. Yeah, that seems to be the state of the game right now. aSpera, even though they're one melee barracks ahead, it doesn't seem to be really impacting Power Rangers gameplay that much.
All right, so aSpera, they are going to slowly start to move up towards the top lane. The hero that is there is Ditchera, and he does have quite a bit of health. I mean, 2,000 with the Eye of Scotty is pretty respectable. He does have the Aegis as well, but aSpera can tear through Aegis very quickly, and it's going to help that he just loses his Aegis right now. So good night, Ditchera. Pretty bad time to lose the Aegis, but look how fast he died. Even if he had a double life, there is going to be no hesitation in aSpera in just killing him off twice. So Juggernaut down is probably going to have to buy back unless Shaker gets a Miracle Echo Slam. He's packing that Blink Dagger. He's on the bottom lane, so there's a chance here for Power Rangers to defend with that and the Death Ward, but it's going to be hard because right now aSpera have their full force up in top lane.
Yeah, Necro units are going to be killed off, and that's unfortunate for their pushing power, but still aSpera are in a really good position to try to make this a 2-lane advantage for them when it comes to barracks. If this fight goes subpar for Power Rangers, it looks like they're going to try holding off this buyback on the Juggernaut, and maybe are going to be successful. They have 30 seconds to hold out.
Well, Apathy is on the front lines, has a BKB, however, taking a lot of chip damage from the Zeus. Blink forward, Iceberg getting pulled right back in. John doesn't really get a great Echo Slam off, but the Witch Doctor ultimate, it's stuck in the trees, and J4 is delivering some serious damage from off to the side. That's going to be a 3 for 2 already. Smiley going to try TP out of there. Ditchera will get the kill, albeit barely. They also have eyes on Hakon, or maybe they don't. Centaur is going to be the one to slip away, but man, that Death Ward from that position, how did the Witch Doctor even get there? Like, oh, there's a path through the trees. I think the Batrider carved that one for him. So pretty smooth from the Power Rangers. Get their initiation off on the correct target, and they get paid off. Plus, they actually might catch Hakon, who runs into Ditchera. There is a spin. Hakon not taking too much damage from that. Should have a free hoof stomp after this spin ends. But now with the Batrider arriving, I don't see a way of Centaur to get out of this.
Yeah, although it's a slow kill, it's a kill nonetheless for aSpera. There's nobody that can actually come and help out this Centaur. Gem of True Sight's going to fly over as Radiant's Courier dies.
Yeah, it I think just delivered the Ogre Club to the Centaur, and then it tried to retreat, but you can't really retreat that fast against a Batrider with Mask of Madness and Firefly. It's just not going to happen. So it's absolutely everything that aSpera has is going to die. 5 heroes and a courier. Doesn't get much better than that for Power Rangers, and they make a pretty crucial defense. They can't get anything on the crackback, which is a little bit unfortunate, and they have to deal with another push incoming, but aSpera, that was a pretty scattered fight for them. They just have to make sure to get their hands on the Witch Doctor. This Aghanim's Death Ward is going to be the death of aSpera if they can't do so.
Yeah, and unfortunately Captain Love wasn't close enough to put the Lycanthrope in the snowball, and with the BKB, I don't even think that's a possibility. Lycan was really left out from the rest of his team. Juggernaut's getting to a scary amount of farm, even though he was forced to buy back in that last engagement. Is still sitting on a lot of net worth. Ice Shards and Snowball going to be committed to J4. The Snowball doesn't look like it's going to connect, but with the Sniper now joining the fray, and a Walrus Punch for good measure, they'll be able to bring him down.
Very crucial kill. Witch Doctor down, and aSpera, they don't have a buyback Witch Doctor to deal with. Over towards the mid lane, Apathy is going to get walled off, even pops a BKB charge for that one. Oh man, that fissure was pretty much perfect from Jotum. If it was just a little bit off to the right, then the Lycan could have gotten through the initial fissure casting point, and with that BKB would have gotten 1 kill pretty much guaranteed. But even though they've taken down the Witch Doctor with no BKB on the Lycan, they can't afford to make a push. They'll go on the defensive once more and probably wait for a Roshan. It's going to be up in about a minute. And between Frozen Sigil and Wolves, aSpera are going to be the first ones to know about it. Power Rangers, they have to wait and use their Thunder God's Wrath or their Batrider Firefly very smartly if they want to catch this.
Yeah, Captain Love currently sitting on a DD rune. Is going to be scouting this out for the team. He has a sigil to keep tabs on when the Roshan's going to respawn. He's going to plunk that down. Let's see. I don't think that's going to be long enough duration to actually see the Roshan respawn, but it is going to be pretty darn close. They should be able to get it as soon as it's back up and running.
Well, they're all mobilizing that area anyway. 30 seconds left for that Roshan, and yeah, Sigil is going to time out. That's a little bit unfortunate, but they're so close to the area, they'll just throw 1 wolf in there or something, resummon a Sigil. No, they'll know about it. Let's just say that they'll know about it. Power Rangers definitely do know about this as well. Cheshire Cat is smoked up, leading the way with the rest of his team, has a gem, and Thunderbolts, if aSpera were watching, they would know that there's someone throwing lightning off to the side. They're going to see J4. This is not the hero that Power Rangers want to get initiated upon. Captain Love going to throw some shards. J4 now completely trapped, although Force Staff will get him out of there. Roshan is alive. Masked Man is popping Ditchiraw. Wolf is going to spot things out first. Apps is going to dive right in. Man fight Ditchiraw to start things off. Treasure Cat gets the lasso in, but it's not going to do that much because of that grave. Captain Love is going to die as he tries to run out of there. Death Ward from the low ground doing quite a bit of damage to Power Rangers, and it's doing its job. Apathy's going to drop Dazzle off to the side as one of the few survivors as the Tusk is forced to buy out. And Power Rangers absolutely smash aSpera. That was not even funny, man. Death Ward doing some serious damage yet again.
Yeah, it was a little bit far away from the initial breakout of that fight, so it didn't start off doing a lot of damage, but it remained uncancelled. Nobody really from the side of aSpera are in a great position to where they can stop that Death Ward channeling unless they save a blinking snowball or blinking walrus punch from that. And even in that scenario, there's a lot of AoE damage to cancel out that dagger coming out from Captain Love. Most importantly, the static field coming out from the Zeus is so annoying for him to deal with, and aSpera just weren't equipped to take that fight. Roshan's now going to fall in favor of Power Rangers.
I think the Witch Doctor has a BKB flying out to him right now. He does. So even if Power Rangers next time have, or aSpera rather, even if they have like Centaur in the area who can in theory blink forward, hoof stomp, and get rid of that Death Ward problem, he won't be able to because of that magic immunity. Tusk will have that punch. I don't think they have any bashes or anything like that just yet. No bashes or MKBs. So J4's Death Ward channel is going to be pretty intense, and Power Rangers are staying in this game because J4 is finding the perfect position. First it was up in the top lane trees. Second it was on the low ground. I don't know where it's going to be next, but if it goes unpunished, then it's aSpera to just get ground down. Even with, kind of awkward initiation from Power Rangers, it worked out pretty well, and they're actually going to catch a courier. It's going to be, again, Cheshire Cat intercepting this one as it tries to buy something from the secret shop.
Yeah, poor courier going to be sniped a second time, although it had no actual cargo, and I don't think it's going to slow down aSpera that much, but it's still a nice infusion of gold for Power Rangers. It's free money, and you can't really say no to that.
I like free money. I'm pretty sure everyone likes free money, and well, aSpera are going to be pretty upset about that. I don't really know what that was going to be. I mean, they have 3,900 on the sniper, maybe Mjolnir, like a Hyperstone from the side shop. Lycan doesn't need anything from the side shop. It was probably a Hyperstone, and that would certainly be very useful for the aSpera side just as far as damage output is concerned. But it's not really going to be a huge game-splitting item. It's going to help them push a little bit faster as well, but a 2-minute delay isn't really going to matter too much. At least it's not going to matter at all in comparison. They find a pick-off right now on someone like a Zeus or this Witch Doctor.
Yeah, it could be huge. For the time being, Witch Doctor is partnered up with the Earthshaker, and close by the Bat Rider is there, so I don't think they'll be able to find him, and the Zeus is inside the base. Neither team have really any heroes at immediate threat.
Well, bottom line, aSpera, they're looking for a little bit of a push. They've been throwing wolves, they've been throwing creep waves into the range racks, and it's pretty darn low. It's not going to change the equilibrium of this lane by too much, but it's just another free objective that they can take. Wolf is going to be spotted by the gemmed up Cheshire Cat, and that means no backdoor there. 446 crit to bring his life out of, he's going to take out the Wolf. Thunder God's Wrath is going to be used just for scouting purposes. So this is, for aSpera, a little bit of an opening to take a fight, but I don't really think it's enough of an opening.
No, neither do I. Ditchiraw is going to end up settling on his next major item. It's going to be a full butterfly for the Juggernaut. The damage coming out from Lycan up until this point has been really annoying, but if he gets a lucky dodge or two, that could be disastrous. The Apathy's going to find himself a double damage rune, or is he? No, he's actually going to decide back. I'm not sure what that ultimate was about.
Yeah, I don't really know either. It is pretty low cooldown, so you can't afford to use it occasionally, just randomly, but he is going to grab the double, the sniper grabbing the double damage, actually. That's probably better, but then why did you use the Lycan ultimate? It doesn't really make much sense there. They dodged death up on the top lane as Cheshire Cat was unable to get the lasso on the Tusk, but the sniper is actually going to grab a Demon Edge, so MKB or Daedalus, I don't think there's a need. Oh no, there's a Butterfly and Juggernaut, so MKB for the sniper is going to be very quickly incoming. At this point, you have to save for buyback, though. If Iceberg buys out, oh, this could be bad. Power Rangers, they're pushing in. If they take a one-team fight right now, that might just be game.
Yeah, it could be very, very threatening. Let's see, Tier 2 tower in mid's probably going to fall without much contention at all. Power Rangers can very easily cleave through this. Although there are some wolves scouting out, those aren't going to be lasting for much longer as soon as the Bat Rider comes in close. Cheshire Cat is sitting on that gem. Tier 2 tower is going to be pushed out by the creeps. Juggernaut now going to join the phrase. He's going to start right-clicking this down with some healing word support. aSpera bottled up onto their high ground, as that's where they look to make their major defense.
Ditchira's not really going to take that much damage. Going to be Iceberg to do a little bit. Takes out the healing ward with a wolf, I believe, but tower down, and Power Rangers, they still have the Aegis, and they have Treasure Cat up in the air. Frozen Sigil is going to see him, so any initiation that's going to be happening is probably not going to work out too great for Power Rangers. They do have to deal with bottom lane, since it's kind of a mess down there. They walk in, take a free tier 2 tower, and they walk out without having lost much of anything at all. So nice little win there for Power Rangers, but for aSpera, they have the late game in order to just drag this one out and take this if it does get to 50 minutes, 60 minutes, something like that. It just seems like all their late game is irrelevant because the sniper can't actually fire off, and their Lycan needs this Assault Cuirass to be completed, mostly for that armor.
Stampede going to be used. Again, I'm not exactly sure why. At this moment, aSpera don't have very good vision, so maybe just constantly afraid of getting jumped by Power Rangers, and that is something that they need to be worried about when you do have a Batrider with so much mobility at his hands.
Yeah, but at the same time, that's something that now Power Rangers don't have to deal with. Not the highest cooldown again, very similar to the random shapeshift that we saw earlier, but you don't really want to be throwing ultimates away. It typically is not a good idea in Dota. Pro tips from HeflaTV right here. But for right now, aSpera, they need the Assault Cuirass to get this additional armor aura up. They do have it right now. A little bit of minus armor as well, just for kicks, but that's not really going to be as relevant as the plus armor for the entire team versus the Death Ward. They are going to group up, looking like they're going to smoke, and they will do so. They are going to wrap around. They have vision on the mid lane. Axmo, well, he's spotted by Wolves. Wolves are spotted by Power Rangers. And Jotum just uses Blink. Small opening for aSpera. Are they going to close in? They don't exactly know where all the Power Rangers are. They're going to weave up, maybe wait for a little bit more armor to build before they go in, but they see Ditchira. That's a big kill. They can take it. Blink in, no time. Now the Echo Slam plus the Thunder God's Wrath. Sniper's down immediately plus the Death Ward, and it's going to force the apathy away. Chichat's going to chase after Hakon along with Axmo. It's only a 1-for-1 right now, but Zeus being down is disastrous for aSpera. They also lose their Centaur, and Power Rangers see that one coming from a mile away, even without any vision. That was amazing, and now they're probably going to take down the Tusk as well. He snowballed towards Axmo, I believe, but yeah, you can't really do that. Actually, how the hell did you blink out of that from the spin? That is kind of weird, but he doesn't have much of an escape anyway. He's going to die one way or another, and Power Rangers, with a great Echo Slam and a great Thunder God's Wrath, pretty much destroy aSpera before aSpera can get anything going.
Yeah, really messy fight for them. Fast reaction time coming up from the Juggernaut, making sure he didn't get stomped by that Centaur, and Power Rangers going to win a big fight because of it. All they lose in return is that Earthshaker. Sniper was obliterated. At this point, SNY is not really a very good survivability item. His raw stats aren't enough to keep him on the front lines very long. He has no buyback, but it doesn't look like this is going to be punished. Regardless, it's still a one fight for Power Rangers.
When you get a jump like that, you don't really expect to be on the front line for very long. You expect the hoof stomp to land, you expect the Lycan to get in there really quickly, and you expect Power Rangers to be scrambling for some sort of fight. So Sniper, if he did have a lapse of positioning, it's like entirely understandable because you don't expect your initiation to get botched that hard. Power Rangers with, godlike reflexes were able to counter-initiate, and it seemed like even though it was aSpera coming in from the smoke from the high ground, it seemed like Power Rangers were the one initiating onto aSpera. And then in that sense, Sniper, well, you clearly can't be on the front line with the type of build that you're going. Hell, as Sniper, you never can go on the front line, so just don't ever try that. Power Rangers take yet another one fight. They can't get any objectives again. Maybe it's going to be another wait for Roshan type of game. It's going to be spawning in, minimum 30 seconds, but in the meantime, aSpera, they're going to mobilize up on top. They have their eyes on J4, who does have a BKB, and he's going to blink out cleanly. They also see the Zeus. He's also going to blink out cleanly, and this Lycan is awkwardly shapeshifted up. Looks like he's not going to do much with it.
Yeah, unfortunate. They'll chase down a handful of Lycan Wolves, but those will end up timing out before they die. For the time being, Power Rangers are still in a pretty comfortable spot. However, since they have found so many good initiations, the Juggernaut's next major item is going to be a big green damage one. No matter what this builds into, MKB, Daedalus, Ditchira is going to be trucking. He's hitting at an absurd rate with the Mask of Madness activated inside the fights and inside his Omni/2. At this point, aSpera have no heroes that can stand up and fight the Juggernaut.
And that's really troubling. You want your Lycan to be the one to do it, and with Shapeshift, with the Medallion, with his Necro units, it's not too rare to see Lycans being able to man-fight the Juggernaut and come out ahead, but at this point, Ditchira is just way too big. He's way too fast as well. Literally maxed out in movement speed with Flutter, although I don't really know if Are you maxed out even without Flutter? No, he's at 445. Still, that's pretty good, I would say. And he's going to go straight for the Roche Pit, where Smiley is the one to be awkwardly caught. And just a couple chops from Ditchira. Axmo is going to steal the kill, as Zeus's normally do. Lycan's going to throw his units in, but that's also not going to do jack, except for a little bit of last will damage to the Juggernaut. This Roshan is not going to be spawning for another minute, however, so Power Rangers can't get immediate benefits off that Dazzle kill, but it's still another free kill for them, and it's going to bring the Juggernaut a little bit closer to being 6-slotted. Once he grabs this Demon Edge item, he has the Yasha to upgrade, Mask of Madness to upgrade, then he's done.
Yeah, Ditchira's at a very scary point. I think once he has that Demon Edge completely picked up, I think that's really where PR want to start fighting, but maybe not until they have an Aegis. Roshan's going to respawn in about a minute. Oh, Blink Snowball going strong into J4. Captain Love, can you do this alone? They bring in the Lycanthrope inside the Shapeshift. The damage from the Death Ward is nice, but not nice enough. Captain Love dropping low. The Sniper's now in there, going to be able to rip apart the Bat Riders. Now they chase forward for Ditchira. The ultimate coming out from the Zeus is going to kill off the Tusk as the Blink and Echo Slams delaying the fight for the Apathy, but a beautiful hoof stomp onto 2 will kill off the Jug, and also this next hero, aSpera, come out with a 1-for-4 trade.
Axmo awkwardly behind the enemies right now, and aSpera finally get initiation. It's been so long since that has actually worked, but they get the angle right, and Power Rangers, they get initiated upon. That's not been happening. They have a Bat Rider. It shouldn't never be happening, really. If it does, they're just going to be on the defensive immediately. Fortunately for Power Rangers, they do have buybacks on all of their dead heroes, so they're not going to lose too much here. In fact, they don't really lose anything, just a little bit of HP on their tier 3, not too relevant there. But aSpera finally take a great fight, and unfortunately, again for aSpera, Roshan just not going to be responding. Now he's up, and I think after all is said and done, this could have been a game partially coming down to chance. This Roshan respawn timer is going to be extremely neutral to both teams unless Axmo dies right now. Blink forward, hoof stomp onto the Zeus. Can't quite get his Force Staff or his Yules. He will get chowed down, even gets killed mid-Force Staff cast by the Apathy. Double damage on that Lycan, because that seems fair, is going to do him in. And Lycan's going to go right into the Roche Pit following. No Zeus, no Thunder God's Wrath. I don't know if Power Rangers can contest. Their Bat Rider needs to do some heavy lifting now, or they need an amazing Omni Slash.
Roshan's falling so quickly. BKB popped by the Bat Riders. He wants to go in for a steal. Blinks in, trying to take the Aegis, but Sniper gets it. There was no lasso spent or nothing of the sort, or if there was, it was inconsequential.
His lasso's on cooldown.
What did
you
lasso?
actually lasso Roshan? Does that do anything?
Actually, it might.
Yeah, so that must have been what happened. Roshan is pretty fat, so they try. I guess you have to try in those situations. Hack on. No, Cheshire Cat actually does grab the cheese. So I guess that's a kind of win.
Yeah, small victory for Power Rangers. They won't have the BKB up for the Bat Rider for another 30 seconds, but that's something, I suppose.
All right, so cheese up on the bat. Everyone up in Power Rangers once again, plus that Demon Edge item completed into a Monkey King bar for the Power Ranger side of aSpera. They're going to shuffle up towards the top lane. They have the Aegis on the Sniper, and odds are, if history is any indication, or if logic is any indication, Sniper should be the one to get initiated upon more times than not. aSpera, they're just going to go top lane. They can't really afford to slow push this, at least not too slowly, because bottom lane not pushing too fast. But this is a situation where previously aSpera got completely cleaned up by a Death Ward. Where's J4? He's smoked out with the rest of the team, still has 8 seconds worth of BKB immunity. And he's in a very defensive position right now, behind his entire team, behind the walls, behind the buildings, behind everything.
And smoked up for good measure. That's pretty much the entire team of Power Rangers, with the exception being the Zeus. This could catch aSpera off guard if they're not careful. The smoke probably going to end up timing out before anything happens, or is it? Cheshire Cat's over in the sidelines. Do they catch eyes onto the Tusk? They do. Blinking and going to pull him back with the Thunder God's Wrath and one more bolt. That'll be the death of the Tusk, as Power Rangers find a clean pickoff, and I don't think aSpera are going to be willing to go into this 4v5.
Yeah, the Tusk isn't really the most influential hero, but you need that Walrus Punch for just that small amount of disable. You need the defensive potential that Snowball. You need the Frozen Sigil, probably most importantly of all. Even though the Power Ranger side are going to be working without their lasso, if you do take a fight there, it's just too much risk, not enough reward for aSpera. They're still going to hang around here, wait for someone to get a little bit too comfortable and push out this top lane, but it doesn't really seem like that's going to be happening. Axmo was there for a little while, but definitely not long enough to be really considered vulnerable. The rest of Power Rangers, they're doing their best to push out everything else, so aSpera, they're going to still be up on this top lane. The Tusk has no easy way of getting up here with the rest of his team, but they're still going to go for this push because at this point with the Aegis, they kind of have to.
Fissure going to throw over to the sidelines, catches out the Dazzle, but with the BKBs, they're going to turn onto Jotum, blowing him up. The Batrider ends up dying as well as they chase forward. Digirot being ripped apart by the Lycan Wolves and the Sniper. That's a dieback on your Jug, 120 seconds on the sidelines, forced up to the high ground. Coming out from Axma is going to buy him a little bit more distance from the Wolf, but it looks like it's not going to be enough to save the tower. That's going to probably be Mega Creeps. I think aSpera blown this game wide open.
Yep, that's game. It's GG. The Sniper was blinked upon by the Batrider with the Mask of Madness, and usually that's pretty bad. But when Sniper has Mask of Madness of his own, plus Sanj and Yasha, he was able to outmaneuver the Batrider, got to a point where the Batrider couldn't lasso him, and then it just took like 4 hits or something, or 3 hits, to kill off the Bat. And when you're talking about a Mask of Madness Sniper, 3 hits doesn't really take that long. It takes like a second for those 3 hits to get out. Once that happened, there was no initiation for the Power Ranger side. There was no more pressure towards the Sniper, and then, of course, Lycan was killing everyone else at the same time, so it just takes one fight. That's all it was. A very delicate dance, and Power Rangers, they were looking pretty good to come back in this game, but again, it's hard to outlay game a Sniper and Lycan.
For sure. Well, let's see if they're going to be able to come back in the series altogether. Game 2 is going to be coming up shortly, so don't go anywhere. Stick around on HeflaTV 1.